guys, Two Peas in a Pod here. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Melissa.
Today we're covering the Hello Kitty murder case. And just a warning, this does include talks of SA, abduction, and just a warning, we will mispronounce names. It is based in Hong Kong. It is in Hong Kong.
Also, just to add on, there is lots of talks about torture. Torture, essay, abduction, just all of that. So if you don't feel comfortable hearing about that, we suggest you maybe go watch another video.
Yeah, we've got other videos.
We have other videos on our TikTok, and that might be more suited for your taste, but for those who leave the video here, we hope you have a nice day.
Yes.
Stay hydrated and grab a snack. So the Hello Kitty murder case took place in Hong Kong in the spring of 1999. This all started when a nightclub hostess was abducted in the Lang Yun estate. She was tortured and then essayed many times in an apartment in Kolang. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
We probably won't though.
Yeah. Sorry for the butchered pronunciation. But she was abducted after stealing a wallet owned by one of her frequent customers. This woman's name was Fan Man Yi, and she was 23 years old.
The triad gang member, Chan Man Yok, I hope that's right. Chan was 33 years old at the time of this case. He had previous convictions for drug trafficking in 1991. He was one of Fan's regular clients at the brothel. In early 1999, Fan stole Chan's wallet, which contained about 4,000 Hong Kong dollars.
Yeah.
Roughly around $500 US. When Chan realized what had happened, he demanded for the return of the money, in addition to a fee of 10,000 Hong Kong dollars. Although Fan immediately returned the stolen money, she needed more time to secure the additional fee though.
On 17th of March 1999, Fan was abducted by 3 men and 1 girl at her flat in Fu Ying section of Lang Yun estate. These 3 men were named Chan Man Yi, who was 33 years old at the time, Lung Wan Lung, who was 21 years at the time, and Lung Shang Cho. He was possibly 26 around the time, but his name is not fully known for the public. The girl was Lau Ming Fong, and she was only 14 years old. And
she was part of the gang?
It's not quite confirmed that she was part of the gang. It's believed that Lang was being groomed by Chan Man Yok. Her boyfriend at the time was believed to be Lung Shang Cho.
Just a quick apology. We have went over this a few times and we cannot get the pronunciation right, so it's going to be butchered, but we're going to roll.
Okay. The group took Fan to an apartment at number 31 Granville Road, Tin Sun Sha Tsum. I really apologise if I butchered that. Where they imprisoned her for over a month. The apartment was rented by Chan himself. but was owned by two men referred to as Assam and Ako, who were not involved in gang activities initially. Chan had intended to make money off of Fan by pimping her out to other men. I'm not going to get more into that, but I feel like most people can figure out what that insinuates. Prior to the abduction, both Lung Wanyon and Lung Shan-ko worked at a retail store near Granville Road.
During her imprisonment, she was tortured and essayed, according to one source. She was beat with metal bars, sometimes while being strung up and used as a punching bag. On one occasion, Fan was kicked in the head around 50 times. Spices were into Fan's wounds. Her legs and feet were burned with candle wax and hot plastic so that she was unable to walk. She was forced to smile, and she was forced to smile and say she enjoyed the beatings. If she refused, they subjected her to even harsher torture. This treatment eventually led to traumatic shock and ultimately death. Fan succumbed to her wounds between 14th of April or the 15th of April in 1999. We couldn't find a real source on that one. Some sources claim that she died while her captors were out, while others say she died overnight. Upon the discovery of Fan's body, her captors dismembered and boiled the remains. Her skull was sewn inside of a Hello Kitty doll, filled with dead insects, while the rest of the body was discarded. Only her skull, one tooth, and some internal organs were recovered in a plastic bag. After Lau led the Yaumatai Police Division, number 539. Apologies, I definitely said that wrong. Were the first, the police division number 539 were the first to arrive upon the scene. Other parts were recovered from trash dumps in Shamshupo, Wanchai, and Tai Yoksu. We definitely picked the wrong one for this.
Yeah, we also again apologise for the pronunciations. We're butchering this, and I really apologise. We are trying our hardest, though. Fan's skull was identified on the 3rd of June that year after a photo overlapping method at Lockhart Mortuary, after the skull was moved to Kolang Public Mortuary after the trial. On the 7th of December 2000, after a trial which started on 20th of October, the 3 men were convicted of manslaughter with a vote of 6-3, as the 8-man and 1-woman jury ruled the remains were not sufficient to show whether Than was murdered or died from a drug overdose. I want to chime in here, and I think that is absolutely insane, but I wasn't on the jury, so I can't say much.
What isn't insane in this case?
Real. While the jury could not rule the men intended to kill Fan, they did determine that she had died as a result of their abuse. I just want to say that's absolutely insane. This case baffles me.
Yeah, there's some sick out there, and if I can't say that, I will bleep it.
Might as well bleep it, just in case. Lau, the 14-year-old girl, testified at the trial in exchange for immunity. It's believed that she took part in majority of the beatings and torture that Fan endured over this time, and I feel like since she was so young and because she went forward to the police, she was granted immunity, which I think is absolutely insane. She basically got away with helping a murder. Absolutely nuts. A necklace that belonged to Fan was handed over to Fan's son at the time after it was discovered in the refrigerator during the investigation. Just a little add-on note here, which I still think is sickening.
So just a viewer warning.
Yeah, just a viewer warning. The publicity around this case at the time resulted in 2 films being produced. Human Pork Chop and There Is a Secret in My Soup, both released in 2001. I feel absolutely horrible to have said that out loud or even have read that.
That is sickening.
It's sickening that people thought that was okay.
Her poor family.
Exactly.
The director's benefiting
Exactly.
from a horrible case.
Like, I get wanting to make a movie about such a sensitive topic, but in that case, they should have made the name a bit more appropriate for what was being said.
So, essentially, Lau, the 14-year-old girl?
The 14-year-old.
So, essentially, she was groomed into helping the gang?
In what I read...
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes, allegedly. In what I read from my many sources while I was researching, she was groomed by Chan, but it was said that she enjoyed helping these 3 men be up
So
this helpless
it was rumoured
woman.
she enjoyed it.
It was rumoured that she enjoyed it and took part in many of the beatings that Fan endured over the month that she was being tortured.
And she just got immunity like that?
And she got immunity like that. It's believed it's because of her age and the fact that if she hadn't have went to the police, the men would have never been discovered. No one would have known what had happened to Fan.
So did it get out that in court, did they get done for grooming as well, or?
It's not believed so. I think they all got manslaughter charges at the time. If I just find...
Confirmed here first, folks.
So their motive was inconclusive, but I feel like we know their motive. In court during the trial, they just scrapped the whole beginning, basically. They just scrapped the fact that Fan had stole Chan's wallet and
But
wasn't
still,
able...
Is that a motive to turn her into a doll?
I mean, it wasn't their intention in the start to do that to her and basically have her die.
That's what it's believed.
But yeah, it's all allegedly. Like, we weren't there. We can't tell you straight from our mouths.
Heck, we can't even pronounce the names.
Exactly. We are just but humble creators trying to spread the word on a case. The verdict that was given to these men was they were guilty of manslaughter and manslaughter alone. Their sentences was life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 20 years. Which, in a case like this, I feel like they shouldn't have been given the possibility for parole. Yet they
Wait,
still...
so are they out now? This was in 1999 and it is now 2024. That is 23 years.
As far as we're aware, one of them are out, which was Lung Shan Ko, because he was committed to 18 years in prison and he got out. And it was mentioned that he was done for a sexual assault case in 2022 and was sentenced to 12 months in prison. So he is most likely out now. But we don't know what happened to Chan Man-yok or Lung.
And bear in mind, these men did have convictions before this occurred.
This was over 25 years ago at this point. If not more.
It was 25 years and a few months ago.
Yeah. I'm just going to give a list of the several different weapons they used against Fan and these brutal beings. And there was quite a lot I left out, which I am willing to say now. I'm not sure if we want to go in that detail because I didn't write it down because I wasn't sure. But the several different weapons they used, and these are just some. Metal pipes, kitchen utensils, hot wax, melted plastic, and spices.
Which were put on her wounds.
And if not mentioned earlier, Fan Man-yi, she was forced to smile and act like she liked it, and if she didn't abide by this, she would have the worst punishments that you could ever think about.
Worse than what she was already going through.
They would...
Which was pretty bad.
Yeah. They would hold her on the ground and stamp on her head and jump about her legs, and they just done so much to this poor woman. We also forgot to mention in the beginning that Fan Man-yi had 2 children at the time, 2 quite young children that she sadly had to leave behind because of this brutal attack. This brutal attack on a woman that didn't deserve it. Now, people can say what they want in regards of this case, but in my opinion, she didn't deserve that just for stealing a wallet.
If someone took $500 off me, I would not stuff their head in a Hello Kitty plushie.
It's just absolutely brutal. Like, it makes me sick to my stomach that people could do that to another human being.
Or even just think about it, never mind actually doing it.
And it's believed that these 3 men enjoyed watching this woman in pain, causing her so much pain to the point she could not even walk. It's just absolutely horrific that another human can do that to somebody.
Especially a 14-year-old girl who was allegedly enjoying it all.
And then granted immunity. I feel like she should have got something. Like, even
just on her record.
Yeah. But nothing happened to Lau at all.
We have no clue where she is now, how she's doing now.
Yeah, there's not much information left after, apart from a memorial is hosted every year in the same town this happened, a candlelit memorial. every single year on the date of her death.
Or what was rumoured to be her death.
Yeah, because it's not really
It's just
believed.
a rough estimate.
Because there's so much like we don't know about this case, and we'll never know about this case because sadly the victim is no longer with us to tell her side of the story.
So no matter how bad people may want an answer, we will never, it's been 25 years, we'll never have a proper answer. What we have now is
what we have.
All we're going to have.
Yeah. Unless
Lau speaks out.
Yeah, unless one of the perpetrators or Lau comes and speaks forward about this, or even any of the believed to be hundreds of men that would essay fan during this time would even come forward to give us a little bit more of information, we're never gonna know anything unless someone speaks out that was there. But it's been 25 years and nothing else has been said. So I personally believe we're not going to get any more information than what we already have.
Most likely not.
But anyway, Jacob, any more questions? Can you think of any?
Well, personally on this side of the room, I think I have no more questions. I feel physically sick. And we put hours, days of research into this.
I will personally say it's one of the most sickening things I've had to read about and just hear about. It's horrific, and I feel like it needs to be talked about a bit more, and just a little glimmer of hope that something else is said.
The story needs awareness for the family. I mean, the movies. That's terrible. That makes me sick to my stomach. Directors profiting off of a very tragic death.
And a very sickening fact, it is alleged that while they were boiling Fan's decapitated head in a pot in this apartment, they got hungry and started making instant noodles in a pot right next to the pot they were boiling a human head, might I say. And it is alleged that they used the same utensil they used to stir said head in their noodles. But nothing like that was brought up in court. We know that is what Lau alleged happened, but nothing like that was said during the trial, which I feel like that should have been brought up just for the sheer
100%
sickening. Like, I really hope these men suffer with the feeling and the knowing that they've done that to a human being.
Yeah, and bear in mind, this was a Hello Kitty plushie, big enough to fit a human skull in. The decapitated head was in the head of the Hello Kitty plushie.
There is actually a photo, a crime scene photo,
which we can definitely not insert here. So if you are curious.
If you are curious, you're going to have to do your own research on this photo, but I'll describe it. There's a photo of the exact plushie they stuffed her head into, and it was a Hello Kitty mermaid plushie, produced obviously around 1999. And her skull was just stuffed in there with a bunch of other stuff. And the photo that is going about, the crime scene photo, is the photo that had it, like, when that photo was taken, her skull was still in there. You can see the dried up blood and the rottenness all over this Hello Kitty plushie. just to have seen that photo makes me sick. Like,
Even just thinking about it.
yeah, I feel really sick.
I feel like we're not gonna cut this out because this is just the true stuff. Like,
I feel I feel
violently sick.
Yeah, like after this case, after watching this video, I hope everyone takes some time just to de-stress themselves and
Yeah.
put something funny on or something like that.
Like, you know, one of our other podcasts. We don't only do true crime.
Yeah,
Maybe put on one of the happier ones.
Yeah,
Unless this is released before this.
Yeah, we're gonna be making some podcasts about the most randomest things you can ever think of that come straight to our head while we chat with each other.
Which is mainly taking inspiration from the Cancelled podcast, Dropout podcast.
Quick shout outs here.
Yeah. Trisha Paytas's podcast.
But I just recommend that you
take some time
for yourself and just let your mind de-stress after listening or watching this podcast or true crime case. It's sickening. Like, even hearing myself talk about it is grossing me out.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna end it here.
Yeah.
Because personally, I cannot go on any longer.
Yeah, I don't think I can physically stomach more conversation on this video. But I hope everyone has a nice, relaxing evening or
and
day.
Take some time to relax, which is exactly what we are going to do as soon as we end this.
Yes, we're going to take some time to ourselves and just chillax after.
Our thoughts and prayers go to the family as well.
Oh, 100%. Anyone affected by this, immediate family, just the whole family of Fan. Our deepest condolences are with you, and we apologise that you had to go through that.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we will try our very best to give you a justified answer.
Reminder to be respectful in our comments. We will not tolerate any sort of hate or rudeness in our comments. We want this to be a safe place to discuss.
Yeah, maybe in other videos we wouldn't care as much, but this case
this is a sensitive,
deeply upsetting.
Yeah, this is a sensitive topic, and we want our viewers to be respectful of this case and just be respectful, guys. A reminder, get yourself a drink.
And grab a little snack.
And we're ending the video here, guys. I'm not gonna say hope you had a nice time watching. This was an upsetting case. But we'd love it if you subscribe to our channel and followed us on TikTok. Any questions will be answered on any of our platforms. Any questions you may have. But have a nice day, and we wish you all the best.
And we'll see you in the next one.
But it is said that she was groomed by Chan Man. Chan Man. Keep that. But it was also believed that she was the possible boyfriend of. What?
She was the possible boyfriend.
Girl. Why are you laughing at me now?
No, it's just.
Girl, I'm gonna stab you. testify. Girl, I butchered that. Testify. It's